Hello, and a very, very warm welcome to all of you. How are you all doing? So, if you can see me and if you can hear me, first of all, I want all of your confirmations in the chat box. Type yes in the chat box. Please type yes in the chat box if you can see me and if you can hear me. So, please type yes in the chat box and then we shall start with the event. Please type yes in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can see me, and then we can start the event. Okay, so if you can see me, please type yes in the chat box and then we can start. Okay, so now that I see a lot of yeses flowing in the chat box, I have one question for all of you right now. So, do you guys have a passion that you have had as your dream during your childhood, but because of some reasons that passion was sidelined, maybe due to your job or could be anything else, but whenever you go back home, does that passion always come into your mind, and do you still want to pursue that passion? If yes, this book launch is just for you, and the book launch is for this book that has the solution to all your problems and your queries. And if you want to pursue that passion and make it a source of income for all of you, trust me, this book is going to answer all your questions right away in this next 1 hour. And hence, I would love to call here the author of this book, 13 months salary per year, Mr. Vimal Pillai. So, Mr. Vimal Pillai, if you could join us right now. Hi, Vimal.
Hi, Shubhali. Thank you so much for the introduction and for having this session and for having me. And good morning to everyone. I am very fine, Shubhali. I hope you're great too. And yes. I hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks to you and thanks for the audience who's joined.
Yes.
I mean, happy to go with the flow as you want to decide.
The audience seems very excited because I see more than 100 people right now joining us and asking us yes, and they want us to start the event as soon as possible because they are here to know that how to pursue one's passion and how can they make an earning out of it.
Sure. I hope I can make their time worthwhile. I'll try my best.
Yes. So, Vimal, tell me and my audience something about yourself. I mean, tell us something about yourself and your educational background and what stage of life are you in right now?
Okay. So on the education side first, I'm an engineer by profession, engineer in information technology,
okay.
Followed by a master's degree in management studies, specializing in marketing.
Okay.
In terms of career, I have a career of, I've worked for more than 13 years now, but all throughout I have worked in only two companies. The first one is a company named Financial Technologies, or MCX, which is India's largest commodity exchange.
Okay.
They helped me learn the ropes of finance and marketing, and a lot of contribution has come from my stint there to what I have written here. A lot of people from there have contributed. I've tried to mention as many who have played a good role and influence in this. The company that I currently work for is called Clover Infotech. Okay. I head marketing at Clover Infotech. Clover Infotech is a beautiful company. You know, when I joined, it was small, but over the years we have been growing very steadily. And I joke with people that Clover Infotech makes me feel like family, and I get more respect at Clover Infotech than probably at my own home. So yeah, so that's how I've been. So my journey in the professional world has been great, thanks to these companies and the lovely people there.
Yeah. Okay, so Vimal, now that your book is available for all of us, how are you feeling? I mean, is this your first book, Vimal?
Yes, Shubhali, this is my first book.
So how do you finally feel after that entire year's struggle of,
Yeah, so I think, so Shubhali, I have always been writing. I started off my career as a content writer. So I've been writing. And I write blogs on a blog called Vimal Pillai 13 at blogspot.com, where I've written a lot of poetry and stories, short stories, and so on. I write a blog on marketing as well called Brand Maverick. And on Facebook, I have a page called Vimal Pillai's 100-word tales, where I try and write stories in 100 words. Only 100 words.
So how was this shift of writing poetries and stories and then suddenly into a non-fictional book?
Exactly. So what if you bind all these three, the common thing is that, you have to write less, right? So I don't need to. So even a short story is hardly 5,000 words.
Yes.
So, and I've always wanted to write a book, from as long as I can remember. My mother has been pushing me into saying that write a book, be an author, and so on.
Yes.
But I thought maybe that's for retirement or things like that. But then, when Adhyayan came up with this, Adhyayan Books is the publisher for all, you don't know, Shubhali is a part of Adhyayan. So when you came up with this how to write a book in 21 days webinar that I attended, I thought, yeah, this looks interesting. The method looks great. Nitin Soni presented that. So I think that looked great to me. So I think let me start and try. As you know, I stay in Mumbai, and where I work, so the distance between my office to home is around 35-40 kilometers. So I could save some time during the lockdown, courtesy a lack of travel. So I thought maybe let me give it a shot. And that's where it started. And soon the 5,000 became a 20,000 words. And so I thought, let me publish it.
Yeah.
So,
great.
Yeah.
So it was a pleasure, working with you and an author like you. So other than that, because this is your first book, like you're telling me, so what is your advice for the other budding authors who are maybe present there in the audience right now?
So, people who know me know that I'm not really one of those guys who has a lot of patience. Patience is not one of my virtues.
Yeah.
But if you're going to write a book, then that is the most important virtue, because, you can't get up one fine day and say that today 8 I'll write a book, right? It can't be a calendar plan. Yeah. Like you say, you might want to go to a gym from 6 to 7, or you might want to play something in the evening, 1 hour. So you can always plan a calendar. Writing a book, at least from my limited experience, I can say that it can't be planned that way. So I can't decide that today from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the night, I'll write a book, right? Because there are times when you get this flowing and the ideas come in. Now, from my own experience of writing this, I started writing in May 2020. May, June, I wrote around 3 to 4 chapters. And, then I was suddenly not knowing where to take this. So I decided that maybe let me not try too hard. Let me leave it aside for some time and come back. So for at least 20 to 30 days, I didn't do anything. And then probably I revisited it and came back. So in a gist, what I want to say, anyone who is a budding author, is that don't be too hard on yourself. Keep writing, keep the thoughts in your brain and keep working on the thoughts and keep making small notes, and don't lose hope or patience. It will come along, and it might take a month or 2 more than you expected, but be patient.
Yes. Okay, so Vimal, what was that event, that compelled you to write down a book? And because I heard you saying that your mother also was one of the inspiration, and she wanted you to write down a book.
Yeah. So I have mentioned in the introduction of this book that
this book to women of your life, right?
Yeah. So I'll take both, one at a time. So on the first part of the mother's role, I have a younger brother who is his name is Vineet Pillai. He's 7 years younger to me, almost. So before he was born, both my parents were having a regular job, 9 to 5 jobs.
Okay.
But once he was born, the parents mutually decided that maybe mom stays at home as a housewife and the dad, earns the living and things like that.
Yeah.
So, my mother took care of the house beautifully. She transitioned to the role of a housewife. In 2 years, she did all this. And then she was feeling very restless as to now what to do, So I have time in hand after all the work and things like that. And gladly, as destiny would have it, a neighbor came and asked her if she can tutor her children, his children rather. So that is where she started a journey of tutoring people. So she would be ready before 9 with everything that has to be done in the house. From 9 to almost 6:30, she would be teaching these kids, and then she would, go back to her household chores. Now, unlike today, there was no support from maids or nothing like that. So she was doing it all on her own. So I was wondering what keeps her going, right? And doing a 9 to 5 while it was from home, but doing a 9 to 5 as well as managing this house and everything in between. And what was it that was keeping her going? So it was just her passion for teaching. She was so passionate about it. She enjoyed the fact that so many children could learn, and she had different ways of teaching. And I have never heard her saying, "Oh, I'm too tired today," or things like that. So that's where I thought maybe, this is great. So whatever she was earning before my brother was born, in the next 3-4 years, she was earning as much. And today she's got the experience of 25 years, and maybe in the last 25 years, she might have earned more from these efforts than actually having a day job itself. At the same time, she was following her passion. So, she never felt tired or bored or restless. So that is where I thought maybe, there's a concept to it, there's a template to it. And in the last 5-6 years, I have been following this through my own methods. Of course, I have not been teaching students, but to my own methods, I've been following this. So I think there is something in it. There's a secret sauce in it for everyone who is a salaried person. On the second question, to the dedication to the women, definitely a big influence. Beginning with my grandmother, who passed away last year, but she was the youngest person I knew in my family. The mindset was very young, and the chats with her were amazing, and a lot of that energy that she had, or the enthusiasm, a sense of humor. I hope something has come into me. A mother I just spoke about. My wife, Deepa Kanarat. So she's been instrumental in this because, like I said, a writer can't write every time. It's just some spark that comes along. So and in the lockdown, it's very difficult. Both of us are working. She's a software professional. So I just tell her, I've found some idea to write. So, give me 2 hours. Just be with the kid for 2 hours. And it could be some odd time, right? It could be 8 to 10 in the night. It could be some 12 to 2 in the morning, whatever it is. So, it wouldn't have been possible without her helping out with this. And lastly, my daughter, who is a tremendous source of energy. So, it doesn't matter if my day was good or bad, if I have done well at work or done badly at work, whatever it is, she has the same enthusiasm and energy. So that keeps me going. So obviously, big influences, and International Women's Day is coming. I think they play a big role in the society. So hats off to everyone there.
Yeah. So, Vimal, your title of the book, which is 13 months salary per year, financial independence, 1 month at a time. So this is very unique. I mean, this is not like any other regular title or a one-word title or a two-word title. This is very unique. So what is the concept of this 13 months salary per year?
Sure. Good question, Shubhali. So, see, the idea here is that there are, now if you look at the world stats, there are around 8 billion people, 7.8 to 8 billion would be the number of people on Earth. Now, out of this, 7 to 8% of people are self-employed. I mean, it could be as small as running a tea shop. It could be as big as running a conglomerate. But they are self-employed, or they are entrepreneurs or businessmen in that sense. So they are driving their business, right? Now, the remaining 93% of people are either children who are dependent on parents or so on, or they are the category who has retired after work and, maybe dependent or maybe earning a pension. And then there is this middle population, which is actually working for a salary. Now, you could do some great work, or, there are two kinds in this also. Some are very passionate about their work, want to do a lot of things and so on. The other is, waiting for a Friday evening, somehow going through their jobs and chores and saying that, okay, I need to keep kicking 1 week after the other so that I keep getting my salary and going about it, right? Now, to the set of people who are very passionate, they have multiple passions. They have multiple things to do in life. But you will often have heard them saying that, if it was up to me, I would have done singing. Or if it was up to me, I would have been an Instagram influencer, whatever it is, something like that. Now, the one advice that goes out, I've always seen is that, okay, you are very passionate about, content. So why don't you create an ad agency? Now, that's a big step, right? So, of course, I hats off and salute to all entrepreneurs who have done that, taken a big risk and are successful. But there are many stories of people who haven't succeeded. And it's a big step, so you can't just jump into something like that, because every individual has their own responsibilities and accountabilities. They have some may have parents to take care of, some may have growing children, so a regular salary is important. And in the scheme of things. But does that mean that you just keep your passion aside and keep doing this? No. So then the idea of this 13-month salary is that you need to have a template where you take your passion. Obviously there are 24 hours in a day, and most people with their travel and whatever would still be doing 12 to 13 hours of work and maybe a 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So there is something you can squeeze in where you take your passion and try and build a template or a method to monetize it. Now, monetize is not only about your financial independence, which I've written in the book. It's also about, internal peace, harmony, about the fact that you tried to do something more, attain something more, and the benefits of that, which is mentioned in the book.
Yeah. So, what was the passion of Vimal Pillai? That he used to come back home after his job and found this passion and made a source of income from that passion.
Okay. So, like I said, marketing has been my serious passion, and that's probably why I have been able to go back every day to work with a smile on my face, because every day I get to do something new, and marketing is a very dynamic field. It is not a set of rules given to you, because technology around you changes, the target audience around you changes, everything changes. So, it's very dynamic in that sense. Of course, there are principles and things like that, but then it's very dynamic. And the nature that I have, I like the dynamicity around it. I like to experiment. I like to do new things. So that keeps me happy. That keeps me going. That's definitely a passion area. Content writing has been a passion. Even before I started working, I used to write, and, so it has been appreciated at times and so on and so forth. And that has given me a lot of opportunity in my work life, professional life. And also where people have approached me to help them with essays for a foreign university, or maybe projects for their kids, and, so many things, even some people to write poetries for their girlfriend. So all these kinds of things I've done. So that's one area of passion. And one other area of passion has been the stock markets. Again, thanks to the first job, and where I was exposed to financial market technologies and, how it works and so on. So that has been there for 10 to 12 years. And these three things keep me going, and I keep learning a lot about these. And so these things about these is what I have mentioned in my book also. So with marketing evolving in the digital era, that keeps me going. I like to do new experiments. I have a fabulous team working with me at Clover Infotech. So that's what keeps me going.
So, like, during this process, how is being happy and being also being dejected a process, a part of this process?
Okay. So I'll speak about it from the context of the book, and from the professional point of view. Like I said, it's more about dealing with people who are salaried and how, what their mindset could have been. So I have been on both sides of the table. One where I have been, I have been a manager. So there are people who I appraise, and then, they have their whatever percentage appraisals, right? So I've seen that, when we've rolled out appraisals, there are times when some people are unhappy, but I have thought that, but they are, very good at work. So I have requested my seniors if we can do something more, give a few percentage appraisals more in the same time, because these are people we want to retain for the long term. And at Clover Infotech, or earlier also, my seniors have been very kind to listen to me, and at times they have helped me to increase the appraisals of people. So I've seen that, a 2 to 3%, which would be hardly a few thousand rupees, gets them all excited. So they're like, wow, I mean, so what changed? Yeah. So you got let's say you got 10% and you made it 15%. So what changed? It's a few thousand rupees a month, right? Or maybe at 1,000 rupees a month. So that's like nothing great. So I was wondering what makes you happy. And at the same time, if that couldn't be given because of external factors, then that makes them dejected as well. So is that 5% the happiness quotient, 5% for the year? So are you undervaluing yourself? Are you undervaluing your ability to do things? So that is where I was thinking that maybe that mindset needs to change, that it's not about this, right? So while I because I've been on both sides, I understand sometimes it's beyond the control of your manager or the company to give you a little more, right? Because things can change, COVID can happen, so many things can happen. So is that how you value yourself? That is the question you need to ask, and the answer to that comes in the book.
Yeah. So while we're talking, I really want to take a minute of course, you and the attendees here, and I want to make the book live for all of us. I mean, I am on behalf of Adyan Books. We are very happy to make this book live right away. And give me a second.
Yep.
There you go. So now I hope all of you can see the offer of the book, like the Amazon's book offer. And if you can see that, can you please type yes in the chat box? Because we want a massive positive response on this book right away. And the best way, Vimal, even I feel that the best way to support an author, especially a budding author, is that you buy his book. And not just buy his book, read it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the book is now made available for all of you who are listening to us. And I request all of you to buy the book, and not just buy it and keep it aside. Give us reviews for the book. Right, Vimal?
Absolutely. I would request people to read and give an honest review on Amazon.
Yeah.
The way you want to rate it, please do rate it.
Yes.
I'd be happy if there's a lot of people, like in marketing, we say everything has a target audience. So the target audience for this book is at least 4 billion people, right? Because that many number of people in the world are salaried.
Yeah.
So I hope if you like it, if you like the idea, please do spread the word.
Because I'm not sure that everyone is lucky enough to follow their passion and just be on that way forever, right?
Right. Yeah. So I hope I'm open to all kinds of feedback.
Yes.
Hope it is of value to people.
So please, we request you to buy the book and share your reviews as well. Okay, so continuing, what is this me time that you're talking about, Vimal? And why is it important for every person and not just a child or not just a 30, 40-year-old? Why is this entirely important for the process?
Right. Correct. So, Shubhali, what I've seen over the years is that a lot of people will say, follow your passion. So there's nothing new about it, right? Everyone is going to say that. There are a lot of motivational videos on this topic and so on and so forth. So everyone has said it. But then how do you do that? There has to be a process to it, right? You can't just jump and follow your passion. There has to be a process. How do you follow your passion? What is the value you seek out of it? It's not only monetary, it's also about the mental thing. It's about a network that you build and so on.
Yes.
So how do you do this? The process has to start somewhere, right? Now, you can get all the advice in the world, but the person who knows you the best is you yourself, right? You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses and so on. So at the expense of sounding insane, I would say that you need to talk to yourself. So the me time is a part of discovering this process of passion. So what I've told is that, and that me time means you have to cut off physically and mentally from whatever you're doing, right? Yes. There could be 20 things at work that's bothering you. There will be 15 things in the family that needs your attention and so on. But, just spare this 1-2 hours where you, maybe you put on your headphones or do nothing, just go for a walk of 5-6 kilometers. In the process, start talking to yourself that, what exactly is that area of passion? What is it that you will do day in and day out and not get bored? And then you will be able to answer the question yourself. That no one else can answer that for you. They can always guide you. But this first step is for you to do. It's a self-discovery process. So I've written about that in the book on how to do it, and then follows everything else in terms of how you work on your passion, how you create a platform for yourself, how you monetize it, and how that leads to a lot of changes in the world.
So how does this person go back home and find his potential? If he's just unaware, following his daily routines, and what if he is forgotten about it entirely? So how should I especially or anyone listening in the audience, so how should we find our potentials and also make use of it?
So the idea is very simple. Like once you, I remember you and I discussing where you said that, my passion is, let's say, singing.
Yes.
So that's a discovery that came to you when you started talking or interacting, right?
Yes.
So you could have a mentor whom you open up with, you could have a sibling or a friend where you start talking and you figure out. Now I'll give you an example. I was talking to a friend and he was saying, I'm so tired of what I'm doing here. If it was with me, I would leave all this and just travel around the world. So that is coming from somewhere very deep and a good place inside their soul. And that is what they want to, that's what this person wants to do.
Yes.
And so similarly, this will come in when you start talking to yourself, challenging your thoughts and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first part of it. That's the first part of identifying what you want to do is about finding your potential. So once you identify that, then you have to address your fears, right? The first step is, okay, but if I start investing 2 hours of my time every day in this, my work is going to go for a toss.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been practicing this and I can bet with you that it doesn't go for a toss. It only enhances your work. Just to give you an example, because of the fact that I'm so passionate about stock markets and so on, and I read a lot about it, and I have groups where I chat with people on the happenings in the market and so on. It doesn't take anything from my office time. It's outside the office time, right? Hardly might see a portfolio once in a day, but otherwise it's outside my office time. But what happens? What I take back as learnings from there.
A lot of fears are also included in this process.
Yes. So you have to overcome the fear. See, the only process of overcoming these fears is to know more, talk to more people. And today it is very beautiful. I would believe that I'm an introvert, but with the digital channels being so much there, so there are groups on WhatsApp where you connect with like-minded people. You build a network so easily today. Unlike 10 years back where you had to go to an event and exchange cards, it's very different today, right? Yeah. So that what you take from there as knowledge is obviously going to help you in your work itself. Like I mentioned, Clover Infotech, we have name the bank in India and they are our customers. Name the insurance company in India, they are our customers. So when I talk to these people, I take some knowledge from here, I take some learnings from here, and I'm able to talk to the target audience in their language, like the marketing diktat that comes in. Yeah. So that helps at my work, and the network helps at my work. If I have to contribute to something on the strategy side, it helps at my work. So I've had seniors who have been kind enough to involve me in all this, and so learning from some other thing, you obviously pick up to a new thing and work. So first process is, it's not going to impact your work, it's only going to enhance, because you are going to build connected learnings and networks.
Yes.
Now the second fear is, okay, if I do this, then it'll cost me a lot, right? Because it's a new initiative and a business and whatever.
Yes.
Now be rest assured, today's times are such that it won't cost you a lot. All you need is an internet connection and like you said, singing, for example. So all you need to record is a mobile phone and maybe a nice room, and you record it and put it up on Instagram or YouTube or so on and so forth. And there's a process on how to do it also. So I have taken a little bit of what I'm doing in marketing and put it in the book for beginners. So once they identify this template of how to do it, and then eventually it starts growing into a income source. So I think you should be a little patient about the income. Try to build that brand first. The income is naturally going to follow. So even if in the first year you don't get that 1 month thing, don't feel dejected about it.
I am seeing a very good response in the chat box, and I see people are ordering the book already, and some of them have already ordered the book. So can you please type your names in the chat box so that we can know that whoever has bought the book, and we can take the names. So this is Sanjeev Vishwakarma. And he says that he's just ordered the book and he cannot wait to read it. And there are a lot of congratulations flowing in the chat box as well. So I see a positive response for the book as of now. Okay, so other than that, so during this so we've got a lot of people. I am liking the response in the chat box. So yeah. Sanjeev Vishwakarma says, okay, so Dinkar Menon has received his copy today. Congratulations, Vimal. Looking forward to read it, says Ajit Patra.
Thank you.
Debashish Bhattacharya says, I ordered 2 days back and can't wait to read the book. So I like the response. How do you feel about it?
Happy about it. It's great. I hope all people who are going to read it find value, and I look forward to a response coming to me as well. Because whatever I'm going to write next, it will be very valuable for me to understand how this goes through. And yeah.
So Vimal, I think out of 100 people present here, 80 people are interested in knowing what is it in the book and what is it that you have to offer them. I mean, so when I read this book, will I get a template? Will I get a blueprint of what steps should I follow if I have it in mind that I want to follow my passion, but maybe because of some reasons I might not be able to multitask, right? So can I like turn it into a full-time thing, generate source of income, like full-time source income? And what if I want to quit my job if I see a successful career here? So what is the template and what is the blueprint that you have to offer in this book?
Yeah, so firstly, I'll take like a few minutes to explain the concept itself.
Yes.
I hope I'm audible, Shubhali.
Yes, you totally.
Okay. So see, the idea of a 13-month salary per year concept is very simple. You're working, so you will get salary for 12 months. At the end of the month, each one of us will get a salary, me included, you included. And of course, there'll be some jobs where you have incentives and bonuses and stuff like that. But let's keep that aside for the time being. So you're going to get a paycheck every month, right? Now, let's say the total CTC, as you call it in your salary, the cost to company, whatever is mentioned. Let's say that is 100 rupees, right? Yeah. So which means the salary for a month is 100 divided by 12, which is 8.33 rupees. Now, the idea of a 13-month salary is that, you're going to earn the 100 rupees because you're going to passionately work at your firm.
Yeah.
The other part, the 8.33, can you channelize your passion into achieving 8.33 rupees per year out of the 100?
Yeah.
That is the idea of the 13 months. Now, to do that, I have built a template. So the me time question was the first part, where you identify and exactly arrive at, okay, this is what I want to do. Let's say, I'll take your case. Let's say singing, right? The second step is to identify where you are in that process, right? Now, you could be a very amateur singer. You could have just sung for yourself in your own room, or you could have done some recitations and things like that for an audience, like in your school and so on and so forth. The next step is, where is your target audience? Now, you are a singer. Obviously, you want to identify your target audience, which is people who like to hear songs or, things like that. So that is there on the digital platform. So as soon as you start creating a channel for yourself and putting up your content there, a lot of people who are interested in this will come in, right? So I don't know of too many people who don't like to hear a good song. But then let's say I am not interested at all. So then obviously I'm not going to follow your channel, right? But then most people will be interested, and so slowly and steadily you will build a base of people who follow. Right?
Connections.
Now, connections. So once you build that base of people who follow, it opens up then opportunities for you online and offline. For example, because you have started this and you have a lot of people following you, you could be in for a weekend singing classes or online classes for singing and so on, and where you could have people. That is one source of generating it into an income. The second is with today's power of digital, because you have gathered a follower base. A company dealing with maybe speakers or Bluetooth speakers might approach you to push it on their channel or things like that. So there are multiple things where those kind of earnings start coming in. So this is the template 1, 2, 3. And the fourth is once you have, so I've written in the book as to how to make this template. What do you do in week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4? Now, week 1 is just a concept I have given. Week 1 could be 15 days for all you care in your case, right? But how do you do a step-by-step process of achieving at this so-called, monetization of passion into a 1-month salary per year? That is what I have written. So once you set that process right, I'm sure over the years you will earn much more than a 1-month salary. And as you build this up, you would suddenly come to know that, maybe, I want to do this full-time or things like that. So that is how that entire template works out. How you monetize, how you reinvest, how you find what you want to do, how you find your target audience, how you monetize it, and then how you reinvest it back into the into your business so that you can increase the monetization.
So let's repeat the steps. So the first one is to find my passion, to find the me time.
Find the me time, use the me time, find your passion. Second is find where your target audience is. Now, I have written examples of digital enablers in my book. So I have a friend called Debu in the US. So he's a software professional, but he is passionate about cooking, right? Okay. So I've written his story there, very interesting story. You can read that. So he's created a channel on Instagram where he puts some amazing recipes, right? He cooks it, puts those videos, puts those images, writes down the recipes and so on. Now, very distinct from software engineering, right? Cooking, and there's absolutely no connection, right? Now, but he's put it out there, slowly, and it's so interesting, the journey. There are companies which are into spices, which have asked him if they could promote spices on his channel and give up a coupon code there so that, so the consumer benefits because he gets the spice cheap. He benefits because he's going to get some income on the affiliate side. And the brand benefits because they're going to see it to an audience. Obviously, if I'm going to like a channel which showcases recipes, I'm interested in cooking or at least eating, right? Yeah. That's a genuine target audience, right? So that's what. And it was so interesting to see that he was telling me that, even some OTT channels have approached him.
Okay.
Like, saying that, can you also push this across to the target base with a code and so on. So there is a network effect, right? It could be a similar audience. It could be some. So OTT has no connection whatsoever with cooking, or at least I wouldn't know if there is a connection. But then it comes across, and that's how that starts growing in sort of, right? So that's the idea, and it's a very exciting process of learning also. For example, I have turned my content writing into a book. Now, it is not only with the intention of monetizing, that's just one part. But the going through this entire process with Adhyan Books has taught me now so many things, some things that I was doing wrong while content writing, never realized. Now I realize that maybe this is the way it should be. It's taught me so many things about publishing. So the next step is going to be easy, or maybe a little easier compared to what was the first step.
Yes.
So that's the idea. That's what you need to do.
So, okay, so we were just interrupted. So the first one was to find passion.
Right.
Second one was to find your audience.
Target audience and arrive at your level of expertise in whatever your passion is.
Yes.
And then, try to build that audience. So how much frequency should be there? As in, if you're going to post cooking videos, would you post 10 videos a day? Impossible. But can you do, one a week or whatever? So I've given a style of how you want to keep the audience engaged. See, engagement with the audience is the biggest thing because they have to keep coming back for more, right?
Yes.
That is how you build that.
Yeah.
Then the third one is how do you monetize? What are the channels? What are the avenues? How do you monetize? And the last one is how do you reinvest? Now, if you have monetized, then you use that same investment to grow your base, right?
Yeah.
Find more like-minded people. There are so many. You keep becoming bigger over the years. And that's how you sort of build it into a very strong, robust structure.
Yeah.
And the network effect is what you need to keep leveraging.
Yes. So, like we were discussing yesterday, Vimal, how is this gonna help the country if this idea is implemented nationally with the help of the government?
Right. Right. So it's an interesting question, Shubhali, and I have touched upon that in the book. And like I said, if there are 8 billion people in the world, I would believe anywhere between 3 to 4 billion people would be salaried people, right?
Yes.
Now, this is not only for the government of India; it could be for any government.
Yes.
See, what is one of the prime things that the governments want to, work towards eradicating is unemployment, right?
Yeah.
So you can see, countries publish their unemployment data, and the next day markets react to it. So imagine how important that is. Now, there are many people who are maybe educated but don't know what to do. There are things like that. Yeah. So if you are going to help people with the process of putting together a 13-month salary, not only, and some of them might grow into making a business out of it and things like that, or at least, any individual can be occupied for at least 1 to 2 more hours than he normally is. Now, like they say, idle mind is a devil's workshop. So you cut down the idle time and, you're doing something productive. Now imagine so many people doing 2 more hours of work. We are going to create a lot of enterprises all around the world. And governments will deal with one part of it, which is cut down unemployment. But the second part of it is where this productivity comes in, more consumption happens, more money is generated, more transactions are going to happen. So we are going to flourish as a country. Now, the second part that I've told here is this 13-month salary, because there is 4 billion people that it can appeal to, or 3 billion. Now imagine the power of a Facebook or a WhatsApp, which has 1 billion odd people appealing to it, or India for that matter, with 1.3 billion, is a very, very powerful idea all around the world, right? So similarly, if this is 3 billion people and let's say we have a 13, so I've mentioned it as 13 MS groups or communities in the book. So let's say we have a 13 MS community where you are in Delhi and where I am in Mumbai, and there is something in somewhere in Brazil or something in somewhere in Australia. So there are so many places, right? So these 13 MS communities can talk, interact with each other, exchange ideas, and the power of them could lead to mentors coming in, governments pitching in with some funds and so on to enable them. So if all this comes together, then imagine the total cumulative effect of that. That's going to be huge. Yes. So I think of course, success of books are measured with the sales that happen. But in the true sense, I've written that in the book, in the true sense, I would measure the success of this by, if I'd be happy if a lot of people adopt this idea and it becomes a global idea. Yes. That is my measure of success of this.
Much more.
So Yes.
So I think this is like very nicely explained in the book as well. So I would love to request the audience who have not yet ordered the book, please go on and order this beautiful book. Vimal, I have not seen the book in your hand till now. Yeah, so yes, it's so we want all of you to buy the book, and the people who bought it, we would love to thank them, and the people who have not yet bought the book, we would love to request you to buy the book. And I also want to open the chat box for some questions. So if any of you sitting there and listening to us, if you have any questions for Vimal Pillai, please go on and ask in the chat box, and we would love to address them, right, Vimal?
Absolutely. Happy to take the questions.
So if this is like implied, if this idea of yours, which is in the book, if this is employed, I see like half of us becoming entrepreneurs.
The idea actually, I have touched upon something called as mental peace. One of the things that gets, so if you're not interested and you're forcefully doing something every day, then obviously somewhere it's going to disturb the way you feel mentally. The positivity goes down, and it is going to impact you mentally. So obviously entrepreneur is a long journey, and it is not as easy as it's mentioned in the book. Yes. And there are multiple challenges, obviously. So you need a high level of passion and things to do that. Yes. But the idea here is to at least try, and not at very late in life say that, I should have explored that or something. So try. Yes. And keep your safety net, but at least try and do these things. And, it gives a lot of happiness internally that, okay, you've done this, you've learned something else. So there are multiple things to look forward to. It is not like, I did not do well for the last 1 month, so I'm dejected and, things like that. Because there are multiple things to look forward to, multiple people, multiple learnings. And I've always believed in connected learning. So, the more things you do, there are more connected learnings, and it builds a different network altogether. So like I said, I had a colleague who, of course, is in software, but was a marathoner. Yeah. And so he was telling me that he built a network, because of the fellow marathoners, he got in touch or became friends with a doctor, and that helped when one of the family members had an emergency. Yeah. So, the potential of this is something that you don't even know. What I've captured is what I know. Yes. But, there could be so many things which I will also learn over the years of interacting with people. Yes. Because this is my limited network from which I have learned. But all the feedback would help me know. But I think the potential is huge, and it's worth a try.
Of course. Yeah. So, someone is asking that, Vimal, have you left your job to follow stock market passion and writing a book?
Good question. Right. See, my idea, I don't know, my idea is never to tell you to leave your job, right? Yeah. So, if you're enjoying your job, you should be there and contribute, So while we were discussing yesterday about how it's, being an entrepreneur or being entrepreneurial. Yeah. So the idea is that, so you don't need to own stake in the company. When I am working for my firm, I don't own a stake, right? Yeah. But then I feel for the brand. It's like a child to me. I want to see it grow. 20 years down the line, it has to become very big. And obviously, you grow with it. Your name is attached to it, whatever you do. So that's the passion with which I work and I go. So that's a personal example. But the only if you are not liking what you do, then there's no point staying at that job. Then you are harming not only yourself but also the company and your colleagues and so on.
Yes.
So the idea is never to leave your job. The idea is that if you have not been able to explore something which like photography or whatever,
yes,
try and build a template to explore it. You can't say I'm very passionate about photography and take 15 days off from your job and do photography and come back and work. That doesn't help, right? It has to be a consistent
process. There's a way of everything.
Yeah. So I'm just saying how you maintain consistency, how you follow a process, and enjoy in the process. While I have given that income handle to it or income angle to it, because that is obviously one very interesting motivation.
Yes.
But then there are multiple angles that gets covered. So I think once you read the book, you will be able to connect with what I'm saying.
Okay. So Ananya is asking that, Vimal, is this book an inspiration of gig economy happening in the West?
See, so if I understand correct about the gig economy is where you do whatever you want. But so, for example, I want to travel the world. I travel the world and then maybe write blogs on that. Yeah. Wherein I am not attached to a job or employed, but so I keep earning something. So I 1 month I'll earn very high, some months I'll earn very low, and so on. So maybe that is what is the reference to gig economy here. Maybe. What I am saying is something completely different. I am saying you are obviously salaried and you have a job, and you're doing your job and you're doing it well. No one is stopping you from that, and you're doing it well. I'm saying, what do you do about with the remaining time, and is there something which you are equally passionate about, which you want to follow? So when I'm saying follow this, I have serious love for what I do, which is marketing and digital initiatives. So, I mean, there is no dearth of love there or passion there. What I'm saying is there are few more things that I'm interested in. So how can I take that and transform? So it is not exactly a take on the gig economy. Except for the fact that the gig economy also people are following their passion, but that's where the similarity ends.
Yeah. So, like if I am working 9 to 5 and if I go back home, so will this and try to follow my passion of XYZ thing. So will this not become hectic for me, not just physically, but mentally as
well? Again, a good question. So like I said, like I gave the first example of how my mother was not tired at all with teaching. Yeah. So I'm saying, obviously, whatever time you spend, there could be days when you stretch a lot, but otherwise, on an average, maybe with your commute to and from work and everything, maybe it's a 12 to 13 hour thing altogether. So, or 14 hours at max. So there are these 10 hours, and I don't know the sleeping patterns, but for as long as I can remember, I've been sleeping 6 hours a day. So maybe someone sleeps 8, someone sleeps 5. I don't know about that. But, I believe that you can easily squeeze in 1-2 hours of idle time or unproductive time. So if you're traveling, your commute to office is, let's say, an hour and back is an hour, then that's 2 hours where you're basically doing, unless you're driving yourself, then you're doing nothing, right? And today, even if you're driving, you can have videos and podcasts to educate yourself. So you can convert that into productive time. And so how do you find those 1-2 hours and invest it back into your passion? That's the idea. And you'll definitely find that time. It could be somewhere late in the night, early in the morning. But I think it's very easy to find that time. It's only about the intent.
So, okay, so there's one more question in the chat box, that how did you get the idea of writing and how much time did you invest in writing the book?
Okay. So, sorry?
We've covered that question though, but let's just repeat for both of them.
But I'll just give a quick idea. You know, so I've always been writing blogs and short stories and so on. In a blog called Vimal Pillai 13 at blogspot.com, you will find those stories and poems. And I have a Facebook page called 100 Word Tales, Vimal Pillai's 100 Word Tales, where you will find stories that I have written in 100 words. Now, why I'm saying this is because I have always been impatient, so I can't write for too long, is what I always thought. So this started thanks to Adhyayan Books, because they invited me for an Instagram seminar by Mr. Nitin Soni. How to write a book in 21 days is what it was called, if I remember. So that was a very interesting and enlightening one. And so then I decided that, okay, maybe let me also try this. So then the idea was always there, but I thought, we can't write it with our daily lives and, work and so on. So I thought I'll write sometime, I'll retire and go back to Kerala, my native place, and sit there and write sometime later. But then with the lockdown happening and things, I started writing in May, and I finished writing and completed the book in December. Around 35-40 versions is what I was writing, and somehow it all came together in December. And then thanks to Adhyayan, they helped me with the print and the Kindle version and, getting the ISBN and so on. So yeah, so here we are.
We at Adhyayan are also very glad, and we're actually honored to be right now, after the entire completion of the book, standing here and launching the book for all of them. So, this is a kind request to all of you once again to please go on there and buy the book, because the link is right in the chat box, and you can just click on the link and buy it through Amazon right now. And other than that, Vimal, I want to ask that there are a lot of housewives, a lot of housewives,
Right.
of course, like your mother's example. So there are a lot of housewives who want to go out there, and maybe because of some reason they've quit their jobs, or maybe because of some reasons they have not been really able to follow their passions. Maybe they got married or have had children or whatever it could be. So how can they follow their passion and maybe become entrepreneurs for that matter?
A great question, and I have tremendous respect and regard for
Yes.
housewives. A very unappreciated job, because it's not out there in the public medium. It's inside the house and they're doing things. But just to give a comparative, think like this. Let's say I'm the CEO of a company. So I have ways and means to enhance my business, increase my income, and still take care of the company, right?
Yes.
Now compare that to a housewife. She is dependent on that single source of income that comes into the family. But at the same time, she has to be like the CEO in the house and manage everything, right?
Yes.
She has to manage the finances. She has to, HR, if I may say so, which is the people inside the house. She has to manage the administration, the grocery, whatever else have you. So everything has to be managed by her. But the other part is constant, right? You might end up getting a fixed amount of money a month. That is not going to change for at least 8 to 10 months a year, right? And it might change a little bit over the years. So then it is a very, very, I would regard that as a very, very, very skillful and intelligent job.
Yeah.
So anyone who is doing that should be proud, because it's as difficult as it can get, right?
Yes.
Because the income is fixed and the expenses are unexpected. A child can fall ill. There could be an unexpected party that came about. So many things. Yeah, someone might get married, which you don't even know, and so many things happen. So to manage that is itself a great job. So I think they are potentially very good managers of their time and resources, right?
Yes.
Now, if they are great managers of their time, and obviously each one of us comes with some hidden passion,
Yes.
Someone would cook, someone might be good at writing poetry or whatever.
Could be anything.
So what I'm saying is, as a housewife, so you will manage during the day and you'll ensure that the family is gone to their respective school or office or whatever. And in the evening, they'll come back. So in between, because you're great time managers, can you squeeze in 1-2 hours in between during the day?
Yeah.
And convert that into a source of what you want to do. So there are many I know who invest in the stock markets. So my first boss, so to speak, Mr. Surendra Phatak, his mother is a housewife, and she has started writing a blog in the native language of Maharashtra, which is Marathi, and on the markets, right? So now she is being covered by BBC and so on. But she's a housewife, but she's productively used that time into something. And I've written that in the book. It's a blog called Markets Ani Me, which means Markets and Me in Marathi. So interesting things like, so I've spoken to a few of them. They all have these passions. They are putting it together. Some are great at painting. Some are great at some things. But, if they can also channelize this and convert into a source of revenue and income, then how great is that, right?
Yeah. Okay, so there's one more question for you, Vimal. Okay, so this is also good news for Adhyayan as well. That what is your next journey? So can we expect a fictional novel or maybe a poetry book from you?
So, great question. And I'm thinking about it. So this was a serious one. So I don't know if I should be, but I'm very fond of humor, and I try and pick up a lot of it that comes within the society, in the college, in schools, and wherever you work, and so on. So I'm trying to put together a series of short stories of some humorous situations, because that will be a little bit of a breather from a serious topic. So I'm trying to do that. Obviously, with Adhyayan, I have, I have a contract to have, we have 3 books that we'll work on. So I think the second one will be around that. That'll be a little bit lighter, and then I'll move on to some serious thing, which anyways I have mentioned as a hint in the book as to what more I want to do. But yeah, maybe this is what I want to do. But let's see how it goes.
Okay, so coming back to the book, Vimal, I had seen that you have not just begun the book just like that, but you've begun the book with an introductory story.
Right.
Yeah, so tell us something about that story. It was interesting.
So it is the same story that I mentioned a little while back about, how, so my brother is 7 years younger to me. And so, when he was born, my parents decided that one of them will stay back to take care. And so my mother had resigned from her job. Both of them were having 9-to-5 jobs, but she resigned and she stayed back to take care of my infant brother and me. And over 2-3 years then, because she was very passionate about teaching, a neighbor asked her why she wouldn't tutor his kids. And that's where she started a journey. And, that grew so much that eventually, that I asked her, did you start earning your, 13th month or 1 month salary from your job when you started? So she said, no, not in the first year or the second year, but eventually she's doing it for 25 years now. Yeah. Eventually she reached the stage where she could surpass the income that she was making from her day job, right? And maybe 5 years down the line or so on. So that's the idea, right? So that's the introduction, and that's where I was observing this from my home as a teenager or as a young person. That's where it sparked in me that why don't we use time productively and Yes. So I think my mother that way has a lot of energy. She was never tired doing all this and so on. So I thought maybe because she was following her passion of teaching, and she had so much joy teaching that it was wonderful. So that is because you're following your passion, you are at mental peace, and your energy, you're bubbling with energy and so on, and that keeps you healthy, happy, beautiful is what I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the idea there.
In this entire process, you've also mentioned that there's a difference between sacrificing and compromising.
Absolutely. So yeah. I have touched upon that. Yeah. So what I mean there is that we'll have a fixed source of income, which is our salary. So so I've heard, and these are what I've written is mostly experiences from what I've heard from people. Yes. Of course, it's a good experience. I've mentioned the people.
That you've mentioned a lot of names in the books and real-time stories and.
Yes. So because. Right. So I believe the audience should be able to relate to it. So wherever it's a positive story I have mentioned, wherever it's a little on the negative side, I have not mentioned the names. But then the idea of a sacrifice and compromise is that, so I've heard people saying that, I wanted to buy an X model of a car, but then I settled for a Y model, which is a cheaper model, because, my son wanted to do a course on animation. So, I had to park some money there and so on. Okay. So I made a sacrifice. There's no. I really don't believe that's a sacrifice. That's a compromise, right? Because as a person, our job is to see if we can enhance our means of earning. So there's a saying called "make your money work as hard as you do," right? So are you investing smartly? Are you following something like a 13-month year? So you expand your means. So if you think there is something which you need to buy, you should buy. At the same time, I'm not saying that go about buying whatever you want and don't need. That is not the idea. But then saying that I couldn't do this because something had to be given to a son or whatever family member or things like that. These are poor sacrifice, but a reader should understand that that's a compromise you make. Maybe you think about life a little differently and change that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vimal, just to conclude, I want to ask that what is it that you want the audience to expect when they buy this book, and then whenever they read the book? So what do you want the audience to expect from the book?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So while I was writing, I was always thinking, I mean, as we are taught in marketing that, always keep the target audience in mind, think like them, and then the content will work out fine. So I was always thinking this. And one thing I think people on the show currently might also agree. One thing is very clear that, everyone will tell you, follow your passion, do this, do that. No one is going to tell you how, or no one has built a template, or if it is there, I have not seen it.
Exactly.
So I was thinking that people who will read this, it's a breezy read. There are examples, and I mean, the English, I believe, is not too complicated. I have used very simple words and so on. So anyone should be able to understand.
Yes.
And so what I've decided and told is that the first takeaway is that if you have a passion, how do you convert it into a source of income? We've talked about that. The second part is, because you have a passion, you have converted into a source of income, how it is going to help your life. So I've mentioned, and I've given a table to explain this with calculations. I've mentioned that, maybe you start working at age 22, 23, 24. And maybe you work till 60, while we are all going to be healthy, and I am hopeful that we all work till 70.
Yeah.
But let's say it's 60 for calculation purpose. So I'm saying, so first 24 to 30 years of your life, or first 24 to 36 years of your work life, for example, you will have a lot to do. You want to buy some gadgets that you never bought, and you want to buy a car, a house, or whatever it is. So I'm keeping that aside from a salaried employee's perspective. From 30 to 60, can you try and implement a 13-month salary principle for yourself? Now, how does it change your life? Because from 30 to 60, every month you have earned 1 month of extra salary.
Yeah.
And I've done a calculation on that. So the average income that you will earn in your life, you will earn, because by following this principle, the total amount you will earn is 3 years of average salary across the year. So which means at 60, if you retire, you will have earned so much that you will be covered for the next 3 years, which is still 63. Now, this I'm saying without you having invested wisely or things like that. So like they say, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. So if you have earned your 1 month salary at 30 and invested that wisely, imagine what it will be after 30 years, right? So that is how, if you have invested wisely and so on, you might have pretty well covered for at least 5 to 10 years of your life post-retirement. So that becomes a little easy for you. You can be a little more happy. And at the same time, you've lived a fulfilling life, right? You've followed your passion. You've made new connections. You've done new things. Your mind is not idle. It's occupied. You've more things to do in life. So that essentially keeps you happy and healthy.
Yes.
So that's the second part of it. And I have given how, that is one part of the retirement part. But also the 13-month salary can enable you to cover situations, right? Like we've had COVID. I thankfully work in a company where we have not, the senior management has been very good, and we've not had to take salary cuts or things like that. We've worked with 100% salaries. But I know so many people who have had to take salary cuts. Some have lost their jobs, and it's unfortunate. That's not because they have not bought in their 100%. It's because of external factors, macro factors, which is beyond control, right? So during such times, so for example, if someone like you started following a 13-month salary principle in 2008 or 8, for example, and at 2020, let's say because of COVID, they lost their jobs because of hardly any fault of theirs. But in 12 months, in 12 years, you have earned salary equal to 1 year of extra salary, right? So that would have helped you to see through this time, right? You would have been covered for 12 months. And obviously, if you are good and sincere and hardworking and so on, you are highly likely to find another job in the next, 3 to 6 months. So that doesn't put any additional strain on your family, on your future cash flows, on your savings and so on.
Retirement planning as well, right? As mentioned in your book.
Exactly. So I'm saying, how do you cover for exigencies? How do you ensure that you have a good retired life? And in the process, how do you also, build networks, connect with people and so on?
Yes.
So there are tables in this. Once you read, you will understand. And I'm happy to talk to anyone post the session also.
Yes.
If there is something I can help with, happy to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anything that you would want the audience to hear from you, like the last thing that you want to say to the audience listening to you right now?
Firstly, I humble thanks to everyone who is coming on a Sunday and spared time for this.
Yes.
I would be very
more than an hour now that people are listening to us and buying our book, and the people who've not bought the book are going to buy the book. I'm very sure about it. And so what is that message you have for them?
So, like I said, it's a thought that has been with me, and
Yeah.
it is not something that I'm preaching. I have been practicing this thought for like 5 to 6 years, and trust me, I've built Excel sheets on how to work on this and so on. So I have been practicing this. That is where I thought of templatizing it and putting it across, because it helps me immensely. Whatever I have said, I have felt these effects in my own life. So maybe then that's a thought that goes out and helps many people in their lives. So I would urge that it's not only about buying this and reading it and feeling happy and keeping it aside. Buy it, read it, and then make it into a practice. The success of this book, like I said, is not about the sales that I achieve. It is about how many people adopt this as a principle, and can we form 13-month salary communities world over? And can people help each other? For example, if someone, like you said, singing, let's say Shubhali, you adopt this, and 10 years down the line you're pretty successful with what you do. So another Shubhali who comes in 10 years down the line can obviously talk to you, look up to you, and you can take them in the journey of 13 months.
Yes.
So it's a concept which I think should live long and help a lot of people attain a lot of things, including financial independence, mental peace, and internal harmony. So that's the idea. I hope everyone who is buying should put it into practice.
Yes.
And you can reach out to me. I'm happy to I've mentioned my contacts on the book, my Gmail ID or things like that. And my team in the office has helped me to put together a great website also. So I have a website on this as well. You can Google it and find it's called 13 months salary. So there are multiple avenues to reach out. Anything you want to reach out, I am happy, and in my time I can keep replying, and we can always engage. I'm happy to learn from the audience also. There could be things I've missed out in this and so on. So maybe if we have new additions, I can add those things as well.
Yes. So Vimal, like you told that your brother's name is Vineet Pillai, right?
Yes.
So he is commenting in the chat box and saying, why this name?
So I think he already knows, but for the benefit of the audience, like I said, it's a mindset, right? I don't want to think that I will earn only 12 months salary. I will earn 1 month extra.
Why
And
not?
it is not only about the earning, it's about transforming your passion into a source of income. And why a source of income? It is not because I'm not happy with the 100 rupees I earn. I'm happy and I'm okay, satisfied. The idea is to try and keep yourself a little more occupied and happy. So when you are going to do this, you're meeting new people, you are a lot of ideas in your head, your energy. See, if you have too much energy, a person like me has a lot of energy. So if I'm not going to put it into good use, it is going to go in a negative direction, right? And that's what will happen with most people. Yes. So it's about gainfully channelizing your energy into something, and in that process, leveraging the benefits for yourself, health-wise, money-wise, whatever else. That is the idea. So that's why 13 months salary per year and not 12 months that you will normally get. So there are countries which give 13 months salary. At least in India, I think it's a 12-month salary. Yes. So the idea is not about how much salary you get. The idea is about how you templatize this with a 1 month salary as a target. So anytime you have a target, then that's where you go about achieving it, right? I'm a fan of targets. So once you know where you're going, then you go towards it. So this is like a target you set for yourself and start moving towards it.
Okay, so one last question for today is: will this book be also published in different languages?
Shubhali, that's a good question, but I think you, Adhyan, is in better position to answer that, because obviously I don't know all languages, and while I know Hindi, Marathi, and my mother tongue Malayalam, but I can't write in as fluently in any of this as I can write in English.
Yeah.
So I hope there is a demand to convert it into other languages, and sure. I'm coming to Adhyan here. That's the only way I can do it. So you guys have to help me out, and I'm happy that people want in other languages.
Yes.
If at all.
Yeah. So whoever is listening to us, guys, if you have a passion and if you want to follow it, but you've not found the time, or maybe you've not found the blueprint or the template of how to go out there and follow, please read the book, buy this book. The book's link is still in the chat box, and if you want, you can still go out there, buy it on Amazon, and trust me, this book is not going to let you down, because I've read it and Vimal has written it down, and he is absolutely sure that this book is not going to let anyone down, right, Vimal?
Absolutely, I believe it. It comes from a very good place within me, and
Yes.
it is, like I said, it's something I practice.
Yes.
So, and I have interacted with so many people who I
Yes.
think are like-minded, and I've tried to give some of these examples in the book as well. So I know people who are benefiting from it. I know people who have practiced this as a 13-month initiative and turned entrepreneurs with it. They're mentioned in the book as examples. You can go through it. So I think it works for people. It's just about reading it and embracing it. So I said whatever I have practiced and gained over the last 5-6 years is what I should templatize and give it. So the audience who is going to read this book has a head start. They don't need to now work this process out. The process is ready. They just need to customize it for themselves and follow it. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the idea.
Blueprint, and this is not a book. This is a blueprint for all of you who want to follow your passion and then go back home and not just sleep, but follow your passion and also be financially independent and get that 13th month salary, right?
Absolutely. More than the salary, also about mental peace, positivity, good health, and everything. It's so much. Channelize your energy into something productive and positive. That's the idea.
So Vimal, I would love to thank you on behalf of the entire team of Adhyan Books that you gave us this opportunity and to launch your book in front of people, and we finally have this book in our hand, and we are really honored. The entire team of Adhyan Books is really honored to have this book in our hand and be the publisher of such a beautiful book. And thank you so much, Vimal. Thank you, all of you who are present here and who are listening to us. And it's almost been more than an hour. And I would love to hear, and all of us would love to hear how you found this book and was it helpful to you? Was the template helpful for you? And give us all the suggestions that you can. And we are all ears for that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Shubhali, for your time, and to Adhyan Books for being a partner, if I may say so, right through the journey. Yes. And to all the audience who took their valuable time out on a Sunday morning to come. The
audience has been really nice and very warm. So I would love to thank each one of them as well.
Absolutely. And as a parting note, I would love to hear the feedback. I would love for you to come and rate the book at Amazon and give some feedback, or write to me personally as well.
Yes.
And let me know. Let me also learn about this a little more. Give me more examples. Help me understand if it has really helped you in life. That is the measure of success. Actually.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I would love to request all of you to make this book a success and make this template a success. And thank you, Vimal. Thank you, all of you who are present here. And we will be back soon with yet another book launch, and we will be back soon with Vimal's suggestions and his feedbacks. And that's all about it. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you for being present here, and have a very good Sunday and have a very good week. And I hope you go back home and try to follow the template and try to follow your passion, maybe today or maybe tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vimal. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shubhali, for being such a wonderful host. And thanks to everyone who joined. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.